So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. And today I had Matt Sutton from the band TAYNE. So, they're an industrial pop, like pop infusion with rock and metal style of band. And they're putting their debut record, Love, on January 31st of 2025. So, I have Matt here, who's the singer and the bass player. So, Matt, first of all, how are you today?
I'm good, man. That lead up to Christmas, running around, being an idiot around the city and trying to sort shit out, and trying not to get caught up in it. But other than that, all good. How about you?
Yeah, I just have one present and then I'm done. Yeah, one, and I
It's
have
not
to
this.
get it. It's what?
It's not this, right?
Is that a what?
I was just making a bad joke. I was saying it's not this interview, is it?
No,
The
no, no,
press.
no. This interview is not the present. No, no, no. No, I gotta get something for my girlfriend.
Nice. I
So
was gonna say someone's gonna be really disappointed.
yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. But yeah, it's that time of year, and you guys are smart because you're like, let's release it after like the whole Christmas thing. We'll release it in January. So TAYNE, it's a newer band. First of all, I saw the music videos that you guys have, and
Yeah.
you collaborate on a song with James from Rollo Tomasi, and you
Yeah.
collaborate with another artist, and I read your influences. You're influenced by industrial metal, some pop like bands like Nine Inch Nails. I read
Sure.
a few
Sure.
different there. So yeah, it's interesting. So tell also the record. It's called Love, and there's a lot of themes of like different type of love. Like I think in general, you were aiming for a February 14 audience to buy this.
We're two weeks shy. Yeah, we should have that would have been the very smart move to release it on Valentine's Day.
Does it
I
happen on a Friday? I don't know when Valentine's Day
maybe
happens next year.
maybe we can get them to push it back 2 weeks.
You're like push
It'll,
it back to February. I'm checking my calendar. Oh, you know what? February
it's a
14
Friday.
it is a Friday. Uh
Damn.
that would be that hey next you're like push it. Why? Just to have it. Love comes out on February 14, but no, the 31st.
Just
No,
make
but
everyone exceptionally miserable on Valentine's Day and go listen to our record.
yeah. But actually, I never liked Valentine's Day that much. I think it's
Yeah, yeah. It's such a Walmart kind of like fake thing, isn't it?
it
It's
is a
that
fake holiday, like one day for love, and it's awesome if you're with someone, but if you're alone, like you see everyone like all lovey-dovey, and you're like, oh, everyone, fuck off, like
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It really brings out the pessimistic personality in you, right?
it really does, yeah, it really does,
Even when
but
you
yeah,
are in a relationship, because you're begrudging about this fake this pressure of oh maybe I got to do this and do this. Yeah, it's a mad one.
you're like, how do I top next last year? So yeah, things like that. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things. I listened to the record. And yeah, there's themes of love, but it's not all lovey-dovey. So tell me a little uh, about what this record is all about.
Sure, man. Yeah, so we're really like straight off the bat, we probably should have called this album Conflict because it's really about conflict. Well, conflict and love, let's say.
Or toxic
And
love.
yeah, yeah, toxic is another good word for it. I think yeah, like conflict was the word that we kind of like settled on where um a lot of kind of roads that we kind of go down lead to these kind of conflicts, not only within oneself but with another person, and with relationships and with love and all of these things. everything unless there's compromise, there's conflict, right? And so if those things aren't, if you're not in sync, there's a conflict. And that's not just between two people. That can be one person and their kind of own things. And so yeah, I think at when this kind of when we were writing this album, the themes was really like, I guess, me um grieving the loss of love a little bit, and just seeing it as a big conflict in my life. Um wanting so many different things but not being able to do all of these things, and yeah, just grieving love, and maybe seeing it as being a bit pessimistic, and seeing it as a bit of a conflict, and that's kind of really where it came from, this concept of love as conflict.
Yeah, I know. And I love how you did the artwork because you put the word love in the most like black metal like logo
Yeah,
possible. So
yeah.
let me
Well,
show the logo. So we can, even though you have it on the background, but here we have it
yeah.
because you see that and you're like, oh, they have to be like a truly black metal. But then the colors, because this, there's a lot of electronics and dance, like heavy dance stuff. But I'm a child of the 90s. I grew up with Nine Inch Nails, The Prodigy, Ministry. So that's
Awesome.
right out my alley. So tell
Awesome,
me a little
yeah.
bit about the artwork.
Well, yeah, it's that thing. I guess it's that juxtaposition, of like it was straight away when we knew the album was going to be Love. I think I designed this, and I just knew that I wanted it to be, like love, but in quotations, not love, like this really horrible and gnarly looking thing. Just to show, like, everyone thinks of love as this, like, imaginative, like, beautiful, harmonious thing. And I just kind of wanted to show it as this more of a raw, really kind of gnarly thing. I guess that with the album, it's kind of like really trying to open those wounds and like kind of examine like those middle grounds of love. And so yeah, with the artwork, it's like, very leaning into that kind of nihilistic black metal thing. Because it just, for me, it seemed like the polar opposite to what someone thinks of when they go, "Oh, love." And so
Yeah.
that's the artwork. And obviously going with the white against the, instead of going for black. And then yeah, the background image is kind of like an outtake from one of the videos. And it's nice to have that like really bright, colorful kind of like red and blue going on there too. So yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, like just wanted to do something uh with like a text graphic rather than have like an image. And that's what we came up with. I think that was enough of a mission statement in itself.
Yeah, it does look cool. Plus, you have it on your background, so yeah,
Hmm.
it makes for a good visual. Yes, it really grabs your attention. So yeah, no, but I enjoyed the music because of that like combinations of styles. So you're the type of band that's hard to pigeonhole, like for a sound.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, obviously, like you were saying, Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and Prodigy and all of those kind of bands, I grew up listening to as well. Being a big old metalhead and then an industrial head, and then kind of like really getting into like modern contemporary pop music, but still being a massive metalhead. I think we kind of, got to this point where uh we obviously those influences are still a massive part of what I do and what I create, but just try, like, at the end of the day, you don't want to write an album that sounds like Nine Inch Nails or an album that
Oh, of
sounds
course.
like Ministry, because otherwise what's the point? And so it was like trying to do that thing of like, I guess the notion was like adopting these like kind of industrial soundscapes and trying to like create something like maybe a little bit more mainstream and a little bit like kind of pop song structures and
It
presented
has
in,
pop sensibilities to it. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, like I think I always say like like My Bloody Valentine are like the perfect band of absolute chaos, and then the thing that's like pulling you through that is these like beautiful vocals that are like really anchoring that. And I guess, in a way that's exactly what we're trying to do, having this like really big contrast of like loud harsh noises with the kind of more uh dragging you in kind of like soft poppy vocals.
No, yeah, and I think it's something that it's that more metalheads or people are like appreciating that those styles combining because you have an artist like when I was listening to this, I also got reminded of an artist like Poppy,
Oh
who,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
who does like her own stuff mixed with stuff, and it's
Dude,
a
yeah, your fingers on the pulse right there. Like I like that. I can't remember the name of the album she released in
negative
uh
spaces.
is it that one? It was like
Yeah,
came out maybe 2019 or 2020.
oh, she had a new one right now
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
No,
the 2021 is I disappeared.
yeah, that one. Man, this when I heard this, I was just like, God damn it, someone's doing it before me. But it's that exact thing. It's like it's borrowing that like mad metal, black metal background and like creating pop music with it. And it upset so many people, and I was so here for it. It was one of my favorite albums that came out that year.
Yeah, no, cool album. So, and I was reading the bio of the band and how a lot of like themes of the album like really resonated with your relationship with your father, which I thought was pretty interesting what I read. So how
Yeah.
much, yeah, that was an interesting thing and obviously personal thing that you shared.
Yeah, well, so like firstly, I think like for me to create music or like do put something out to the world, I've no interest in like I said, trying to create something that's doing something that someone else has already done. So it's like for me, it's got to be honest, and a lot of the times with the lyrics and the themes, even the sound of Tane, it's like we're writing the music that we want to write. The kind of the afterthought is the audience in a way, and
I think that's how
yeah,
it should be.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's how my brain says
Yeah.
to do it. And so yeah, honesty is always kind of the big word that we come back to with Tane, and so obviously we wrote this album, Love, and a lot of the when we were writing it, I kind of fell into this conversation with my dad, just talking to him about it. We were recording, he was asking how it was going. And I just kind of started telling him about the concept, and a lot of it like kind of resonated with him, and we kind of like we had a lot of overlapping kind of stuff to talk about. And for the background here of this story that people don't know is so um my dad got married, in a heterosexual relationship to my mom, had five kids, and
Wow. Yeah.
then realized that he was a gay man. He was living a lie essentially, and so transformed his life and became who he is now, and I absolutely love him for it. But you know that was a big conflict in love in his life, and in a way the light bulb moment for me was like, well, my whole existence is a conflict in love. Um, and so when we kind of had that discussion, I kind of was like, well, hey, how would you feel about if, the visual kind of identity of the music videos and the art for this was kind of in a way like your story? And he was totally cool with that. And so that's kind of what we did. And that's kind of what the music videos are as
Yeah.
well.
There's a lot of colors in your music videos because I saw, and there's a lot of people in bikinis. I can't remember which one was that one, but I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And something about that song, I'm like, at some moment this song will be played in strip clubs. I don't know, but
I mean, I'm all down for it.
hey, Closer from Nine Inch Nails is a great song, but you can hear
Right?
it in strip clubs. Probably there'll be some guff.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
got that
staple.
groove, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got that groove.
If we end up getting played in a strip club, I would love to see it. That would be fucking sweet. Um, but yeah, the music videos are very colorful. We kind of done them. We made them with a director called Leif Johnson, and when I had this kind of conversation about my dad, I knew that that was the kind of visual side of what we wanted to be. And Leif was a friend through a friend, and we kind of spoke about making these videos. And so we worked with them to make these three videos that were kind of part one, two, and three, telling like a kind of abstract, fairly loose story, like a narrative through it. And I think video one is down. That is
Yeah.
video one is down. That is the conflict being love, my dad's sexuality. Video two was the transformation, which is in this trend. And then
Was it coherent?
video three is fear.
Oh,
And
okay.
that is the kind of celebration and acceptance. And that's probably the one with a lot more people dancing around.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the one. Fear with James Pence from Rollo
yeah,
Tomasi.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but I think you also have a video, if I'm not mistaken, for coherent with Rachel. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Aspect. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a good one too.
yeah, that one's trippy, kind of like a splice up of like kind of all of the other videos and all of the graphics all over the album. Yeah,
Yeah, no, but they're cool music videos, very colorful. Uh, and I think even, I think anyone who's been in love and divorce in any situation can relate to this because it's
sure.
relatable. I think everyone feels love at some time in their life, and then it turns into hate and stuff like that.
Well, it's
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
no, that's. I was gonna say. So the band, because you're a fair newer band, when did you guys started the band?
So we started the band in 2018, and we kind of we were just like really eager to be a band and play shows, and we yeah, started the band in 2018. Me and Tom, the guitar player, had met in a prior band that didn't really go anywhere. And I was kind of starting this, and I had like kind of been working on this material, and I had got Tom on board, and we kind of just went with it. And so for the first like 2018 up until like 2020, we were almost like the Godflesh kind of two-piece drum machine kind of thing. And then obviously we had a pandemic.
Oh
um
yes, I think
and
everyone knows that. Yeah.
and then yeah, then kind of coming out of that, then we got like we it was kind of when we started recording this stuff, or like kind of putting it together. And we got well, I think we've put out like an EP called Tense, which was very much a pandemic like project kind of thing. And we have the Coherent EP, which is kind of I see it as the precursor to this
Mhm.
album.
Yeah, and now you have this album in 2025, and you last year you were signed to the record label. Is it I always market MNRKI. Yeah, I always say I don't.
MNRK. Yeah,
Yeah,
they call it Monarch.
Monarch.
Monarch
Okay.
Heavy. is I think they're a bit like a bigger umbrella thing as Monarch, but there's Heavy and then there's a few other ones, and I think we're on like we're Monarch Heavy slash Inside Job, I think is now the going title as far as I'm aware.
Okay, good, cool stuff. So, and you've also collaborated on this album, but in the past. So I was going to ask you, how do you enjoy the collaborating part of things?
Yeah, I man, it's so much fun. We've like obviously we got Rachel on the record from Cage Fight. She is a phenomenal like front person. Her range is insane. They do it better than any front person I know. And when like if you've not checked out Cage Fight, go check them out.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
so
check them out.
Rachel is phenomenal range, and we were buddies, and when we were kind of writing it, we just approached them and just asked, "Hey, would you be into doing it?" And they were like all up for it, and so it was cool to just cause on the record I do screaming stuff, but it was cool to just be like, okay, like get like I'm gonna just press the delete button on anything that I'm doing on these parts, and you just go for it. And similar thing with James from Rolo Tomasi on the
Yeah,
track Fear. It was very much like the hype person for the track, and I think it's cool. We've got like I think we put out like before we started the album cycle. There's a band called Mastiff on the label as well that we kind of done a collab with them,
oh,
and
I've
it's just
interviewed them.
oh, nice. Yeah, man, they're like such great people, and like that was kind of a fun thing because they obviously already had the album that came out at the start of this year, and I think they just got me like a bunch of the stems of one of their tracks and just said do whatever you want with it, and I just created a whole new song from it, and yeah, I love doing it. It's so much fun.
Which song was that?
I think the song went out, the title was Trapped Inside the Void, and maybe on the album it was just a song called Void.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The
Well,
album, it's 10 tracks, and it moves. It's not a long album. I think it's like a 30
maybe
something minute.
30 minutes, just a bit over, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. It moves by quickly. I think every song flows into each other. So lyric writing. How did you approach writing the lyrics when you were tackling this subject matter?
Yeah, so like I said, like a lot of it, for me, it comes from a point of it has to be honest and it has to be something that is real. Uh and so I think with any of that stuff, it starts with me standing in front of a mirror and poking holes at what what I hate about what's on the other side. And a lot of the time the continual thing that comes out of that is grief, and regardless, like whatever form that grief takes. And so I think, like I said, at the time when we were recording this or writing it, um like that, love was like the kind of the question in my life that I was very kind of like grieving or like just unhappy with where I was in my life with it. And so I think to write an album for me, I'm like still like probably old school in that regards. Like it has to be like a considered piece of a body of work that is like a cohesive thing. And so like love was the 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 theme, let's say. And so yeah, then it just kind of went through an array of documenting a lot of stuff and then examining that. I think the opener of the album is a song called Erased, and that was literally the start of like looking at the mirror and like
Yeah.
maybe or
That's a good
maybe
one because that's like a harsher, like the guitars are harsher on that
yeah,
track. It starts like a, it's for people listening to it's like me thinking this is gonna be like a dance record. No.
yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah.
like no, there's metal in this.
Big time. Yeah, I think like the opener track always has to be the mission statement, right? At least in
Yeah,
my
it's
head.
really weird when you have albums that usually an album starter should be like a energetic song, but there's a few bands that I've heard that I love that started an album with a song that was more like a ballad. I'm like, that's kind of ballsy.
Right.
Or the other way around, start the song with a super long track, like
Yeah.
Periphery, who started an album like with a 15-minute track. I'm like, that's having cojones. Because
Yeah, yeah.
you're like, yes,
To
we're
go
gonna
straight
start with
into
a
the deep end.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I would play it safe and start it with an energetic, not that long song. I don't know
Yeah,
because
it sets the tone, doesn't it? If you start
yeah,
off with a 15-minute long song, by the time I'm at the third song, I think I'm ready to stop listening to the
yeah,
album.
it's ballsy.
Unless there's something awesome going on in there that's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
gripping.
but yeah, it's a good album starter, and the album closer to Nothing is really cool, and
Yeah,
it's really cool because it starts like very like the sound is like very muted low and then it
yeah.
builds up. So when I was first listening to it, I was turning the volume. I'm like, what's wrong with this song?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a fade up. And
Yeah.
again, yeah, I think like, as an album closer, I think that was an intentional thing to have like it's almost like an anticlimactic resolution because it's completely at that stage it's exhausted you know all of these avenues of the journey, let's say, and it's really just like a kind of like like trying to like come out of the wreckage and just like be a little bit more chill and but also I think it doesn't offer a resolution. It like sonically, it's like it's a nice like calm after the storm, but thematically and lyrically, it's just saying that we're still on this loop and nothing has changed, you know. And so yeah, but it's album ender and album starter. I think that they were very important to kind of have something that fit the mood. I think we had maybe four different songs that were the album closer before we got to nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a decision like how do we close this and yes, so people, this is an album, if you're looking for lovey-dovey stuff, this is this ain't it,
It's not
but
that.
it's not that. It's not that. But also this type of like people can relate to like these feelings of anger and frustration. So the Tames, you put the album out in January. So
Yeah.
what are the plans once the album is out? Do you have some tours booked? Like what's next for the band?
Yeah, so we've got like predominantly because we are UK at the moment. We're doing a bunch of UK stuff. We've got the album launch show is happening in London, and then we've got like a bunch of festival stuff in the UK during the summer. We're doing like the big ones like Arctangent and 2000 Trees over here. There's a lot of really big, cool bands announced for them. And then we've got some shows in Europe, doing a festival in France, in Paris in May. And some Irish stuff is in the works as well. And there's a lot of stuff still kind of like being thrown around underneath the surface. But at the moment, like that's the kind of the only stuff that's out to the public right now. But there's more to come. But yeah,
Have,
we're
have
we're
you
just
guys already played live, like shows?
yeah. We're actually playing. We're playing some shows. We're playing our last two shows of the year this weekend. Yeah, we've kind of maybe played. We've played quite a few shows this year. We opened for Greg from the Dillinger Escape Plan came through at the start of the year. We
Well,
played
that's
some.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
his last
awesome to
solo
play.
album's really good.
Super cool, and that industrial like Trace Amount that's on the same label came true as well. So we played with those guys and yeah, so, some cool shows, but 2025 definitely a lot more cool shit on the way
Yeah,
in
but I
terms
think
of
it's cool that you have a lot of bands like collaborating with you guys. So and with the sound of your band, it seems like you can play with different types of bands
yeah.
because you play like so different styles like that. I think that's a blessing that you could play like with bands that play like harder stuff, or you could play, I don't know, I could see you playing with Sleep Token or
Oh,
something
sick.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe you're the dude from Sleep Token, and I don't. Maybe you're Vessel, and I don't know because you don't know who they are.
Maybe I'm
Maybe,
pretty yeah, definitely maybe.
definitely. An Oasis reference there.
Yeah,
So, so yeah.
yeah.
So Matt, it's been great chatting with you. So, I'll put the link for people who want to pre-order this. I'm sure it's coming out in vinyl, all the
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, so are you, well, when this comes out, it's already 2025, but like any cool New Year's plans or resolutions?
For the band or for me
Or
personally?
for you.
For me, mate, what am I gonna um what am I gonna do? Maybe see a therapist, maybe, who knows?
That's a plan.
2025 could get better. No, I think, man, just with like with goals, for the band, just try get this record out and play some shows and hopefully people dig it. With me personally, yeah, just have fun doing the process. We're kind of busy kind of behind the scenes working on a lot of collabs with other bands at the moment as well. So a lot of that will be coming out early next year. So just trying to keep busy, fingers in all the pies and keep spinning all the plates.
Yeah, so next year will be a busy year indeed for TAYNE and you as well. So yeah. So yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, awesome. So before I let you go, anything you like to say to the fans?
Yeah, go check out the record when it comes out. Hope you dig it. Yeah, if you're a fan of, like a lot of the bands we spoke about, it's probably something in there for you. But also if you're a fan of like the likes of, Lady Gaga and weird shit like that, there's probably still something in there for you. So, but also that's probably a blessing and a curse. But yeah, check it out. Hope you dig it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So Matt, thank you for joining me from the UK here to Puerto Rico. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all next time right here on the couch. Thank you and
Man.
goodbye.